I'm not actually going anywhere. I'm just using the car because it's quiet.
Welcome to week 5 of architecture. We're designing shelves. Now, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but shelves are really lame. All they are, wait, hold on, I have a dictionary for this. A thin slab of wood. Now, that's really lame, but the potential for shelves are through the roof. So today, I'll be designing the coolest shelf you've probably ever seen. Hopefully. Maybe. We'll see. The first step in designing is looking for inspiration. The problem is that when looking for inspiration for shelves, all you're going to end up with are flat slabs of wood, live edges, and the occasional hexagon, which is really lame. So instead, I looked at woodworking for inspiration. People like Ishitani, Frank Howarth, Kobia Musk, Blacktail, the Woodwright's Shop. I watched so much YouTube. What I learned from this though is that in woodworking, it's nice to go simple and let the quality of craft shine. One thing I like to do before designing is figure out my goals. For the shelf, for example, I need the shelf to be not the focus. I want whatever is on top of the shelf to be the focus of this. So instead of designing a shelf that's all complicated and intricate, I want a simple design that draws attention to the object, which is starting to sound like a flat slab of wood. But don't worry, I have an idea in mind. The shelf is designed to sit on a desk, so these ribs act as legs. They also provide storage up top, and underneath they allow room for trinkets. These legs also counterbalance the other side, which it guides the eye towards using this arcing design. This is where items are put on display. The sole purpose of this side is to place items of worth, setting them apart from the rest. Okay, that's enough design. Let's build it. Now, normally I try and do a sick montage with cool music, but I'm trying something new, which is where I talk through what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Here you can see I taped the legs together and cut them out at the same time, just so that they'd be the exact same pieces. And after a bit of sanding, they turned out nice. Then I moved on to the shelf body. I cut the grooves so that the ribs would fit in place, planed it to just barely above what I needed, and sanded the rest of the way so that by the time it was the correct thickness, it would also be perfectly smooth. This sanding took days, which is a great time to remind you that if you haven't considered yet, consider doing so. I've got more design videos on the way. After the surface was nice and smooth, I moved on to the live edge. I started with a rasp and just went to town. Most people will say you shouldn't do this because it gets rid of all the interesting details in a live edge, but that's exactly why I did it. I really wanted the live edge to take a back seat to the purpose of this design, so I smoothed the live edge down to be a bit more subtle. Anyways, with all that smoothed out, I did an epic blowing shot to look cool and moved on to the final parts, the ribs. All I did was cut the correct angles and sand it a bit. I broke one of them by being impatient, but after gluing it back together, you could barely tell. For the assembly, I started out by slotting them in by hand, and it worked fine for the first piece, but on the second one, it would not go in. So I went full on ape mode, which was really dumb because they had wooden mallets. Luckily, I figured this out before I broke anything, and just like that, it's all assembled. I kid you not, my favorite part of the design process is taking pictures of it when it's finished. If you put in enough effort, it'll come out really cool, especially if you have Sam helping you. Well, there you go. If you liked the video, let me know in the comments or consider subscribing. Thanks.